Beats Planet.
Yeah.
Voch is actually like one of the most entertaining people I watch.
Well, that is true.
It's fact.
That is true. That's true. Yo, chat, what's happening? What's good with y'all? Everybody cool? Appreciate it. Y'all straight? Y'all straight? Get my notepad. Make sure my notepad's ready to go. See what I'm saying? Make sure I got notes for y'all. Get a little bit of notepad for y'all. Welcome. Man, it's been a minute since I tapped in with y'all. Thank you. Incredibly blown away and grateful for the reception of all the work that was put into draft coverage and all that.
Did you hear what I said?
Special thanks to Master Skywalker Stillion. Thanks to Fuster King. Couldn't have done it without him.
Salute.
Draft season's over with. Technically, you know, we're dealing with the post-draft thing now. You know, letting y'all know what we acquired and how they're gonna fit into the system. And I want y'all to understand it's gonna be a slow burn. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna knock it all out in one day. We need something to talk about tomorrow. You feel me? But I just want to let y'all know I'm incredibly grateful, humbled, and thankful. No matter when we talk about this stuff. Glad that y'all tapped in to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that y'all came through. This is what we got on tap for y'all today. I just want to know if y'all cool with doubling down at offensive line. I just want to know if y'all cool with triple downing at offensive line. I want to know, are you cool with us not taking a running back in the first no rounds? I want to know what y'all thoughts are on each individual offensive lineman. The phones are probably going to be lit all day. I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions, but this will be a phone intensive day. So I would love to hear from you. I got a good feeling what y'all think because, you know, I'm tapped into the chat boxes and comments just as much as you are. But I would love to hear what y'all think, and maybe we can make a dialogue out of it. I don't know. What y'all think about our undrafted kids? I would love to hear all this conversation today. So if y'all want to tap into the show, there it is, right there. It's on the screen. But today I will give you my general thoughts on the whole draft, like all together. Okay. But as the days go by, I want to give a detailed thought on each player that we've acquired, because I think big change happened here. Grand scheme of things, I think big change has happened here. And I think that this draft, maybe not this year, right? Maybe not this year, but this draft is a sign of like certain kind of changes around here. You know what I'm saying? And I do want to, let's go ahead. Man, hold up. First of all,
well, come on inside and get yourself something cool to drink.
Welcome.
Hey, Bachi.
VOCHLOMBARDI. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all to pieces. Thanks for being here. We can really jump right into it, man. Big picture stuff, right? And of course, if y'all want to call and talk about Zeke and all that kind of stuff, we'll talk about Zeke. I still got some Zeke takes left over from the video I did this morning. But anyway, grand scheme of things, right? How do I feel about the draft as a whole? I feel like you have to look at this draft really two different ways. NFL draft tracker. Tracker. Hold on, let me pull up the NFL because I know I'm gonna say Ryan name incorrectly. I just know I'm gonna say Ryan name because I badly want to call him Ryan Fauntleroy, and I badly want to call Marshawn. I want to call him Breland so bad. Let me get the names pulled up so I can just see him at a glance and I can be correct about it. I don't want to be wrong about these kids. This is the best time of their life. They just turned into some rich men here. All right, cool. So it's two ways to look at this draft, okay? It's two ways to really look at it. And I think it'll be irresponsible if we talked about this draft from the perspective of what it could have been. If we talk about this draft from the perspective of what it could have been, we ain't gonna never be happy. We ain't gonna never be happy if we talk about what could have been. Cause man, I'm gonna be putting some Peyton Wilson conversation in there. Boy, you know, if we don't get running back early, I'm gonna catch Jalen right before we don't have picks anymore. And you know, I love what we did doubling down the offensive line. Y'all ain't gotta hear nothing from me. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that we all would have done differently. But when you stop and you think about what the Cowboys did in particular, you have to then ask yourself, does it make sense from that perspective or does it not? Here's an example of what I'm saying. Tyler Guyton, and look, this is me talking from Cowboy. What's this, like second person? Can I get a literary scholar to tell me what? This ain't me talking from Cowboys perspective. This ain't me talking from my perspective. I'm talking from Cowboys right now. Was it like second person or something? I don't know. Cowboys says this. Tyler Guyton was legitimately a player that I had coveted. He was on my list as a first round player. He was one of the last first round offensive linemen that I had on my list. We have resources in place to improve offensive linemen. Duke Manyweather's across the street. I actually hit up Duke. Guyton's not on the Duke list right now, but I actually hit up Duke to see what he say. I thought Duke hit me back, but that's just Foots the King. I don't want to hear from Foots. I want to hear from Duke, right? Duke Manyweather's literally across the street. So if I'm the Dallas Cowboys and I feel like, okay, I'm probably going to be looking dead at this Tyler Guyton kid at 24 overall, and he has some traits that I can work with, and we have a notorious track record for fixing guys like this. And if we were projected to get this character, but we picked up pick number 73 in the trade back, and we got him anyway, you can't be mad at how they came away with that. Would Voch have picked him right there? No, Voch would have picked him right there. Voch would have hung in at 24 and took Graham Barton. Voch would have hung right in there and took Graham Barton. But I'm just a dude with a microphone and a camera. Don't judge me. I'm just a dude with a microphone and a camera. Y'all ain't got to listen to Voch. The professionals that get paid a good amount of money, they made the decision. I also want to reiterate, and this ain't something new. I'm just saying right now to get in front of Tyler Guyton had a good block at camp. Where's Voch? Because I see people tagging me to Brian Baldinger already. I've watched games of Tyler Guyton and Baldinger drop a damn Twitter video that's 16 seconds of one play, and now people tagging me to. It's cool. I can wear that. Would I have taken Guyton right there? No. Me personally, I would not have taken him right there. But if I can get ahead of it and just say this, I don't think Tyler Guyton is trash. I thought Patrick Paul was trash. And anybody that watched my episodes, they'll hear me talking to other people. They listen to the interview series or whatever. That's a line that I was constantly saying. It ain't like I don't think Tyler Guyton can play. He's just incomplete. That dude's incomplete. He got warts. Now I'm laughing at Miami because they drafted Patrick Paul in the 3rd, and Christian Jones went to the 6th round or something like that. I thought that was nonsense. I hope Christian Jones gives me a DeJuan Jones receipt so I can come back and talk shit next year. But Tyler's rough around the edges, man. And me personally, if I'm just guessing, I don't like, if I'm just talking, I don't like projects. I'm not the biggest fan of project players, but woe is me. Shit, we won football games, man. We won football games, man. It is what it is. When you win football games, this is what you're presented with. If we're a trash team like the Washington Football Wizards, boy, we could have got Fuaga or Joe Alt if we wanted to. Y'all wouldn't have heard a peep out of me, but we in the back. So we had to have conversation about Tyler Guyton, conversations about Jordan Morgan, conversations about Kingsley Sua-Mateo. I told y'all Kingsley wasn't gonna be no goddamn first round pick, boy. I don't want to be told you so, guy, but I told y'all Kingsley Sua-Mateo won't be a first round pick. So if we just talking about what the Cowboys did, not what Voch wanted personally, just what the Cowboys did. Me personally, if you told me Tyler Guyton's gonna be on my team regardless, if you told me Tyler Guyton's gonna be on my team regardless, I'd be like, all right, cool. I got to live with that. That's where we're at. We're picking 24th overall. But if you can do that, but then put a 73rd overall pick on top of that, man, I can't be mad at that. I can't be mad at that. Jay Kelly says you didn't consider Tyler Smith a project. I'm glad that you said that. That is a phenomenal question. Let me do something real quick. Let me just do something real fast for you. I did this on social media, but it was on draft day, and I don't think enough people saw it. You're absolutely right. Tyler Smith was also a project, but let me tell you what Tyler Smith had. Man, that's a phenomenal question. Hold on, player. Let me get you right real quick. Let me just show you something real quick. And this ain't me poo-pooing on Guyton or nothing like that. I'm just letting y'all know. Let me see. I go here. I gotta hit Twitter and right there. So this is Tyler Smith when he was in Tulsa. And look, mind you, Tyler Smith got the same, let me go back. He got the same goofy hands that Tyler Guyton has, the same weird feet that Tyler Guyton has, the same propensity to hold people as Tyler Guyton has. The knee bend can come and go just like Tyler Guyton. But the one difference between that project that is Tyler Guyton and this project, which is Tyler Smith, is the blinking light of ass whoop that we can't deny. That's my problem with what Baldinger's doing. That's my problem with what a lot of miscellaneous, Twitter people are doing, tagging me to it also. I think that's my problem. People are picking and choosing film. We cannot pick and choose film. And look, I'm not saying Tyler Guyton is trash. Patrick Paul is. I'm just saying I'm not the guy. One, I'm not the guy that takes on projects, but two, man, certain projects are built differently than others. Tyler Smith and Tyler Guyton are both projects, but Tyler Smith, I could at least see him doing this to people. You see what I'm saying? I didn't see Tyler Guyton doing this to people. So now you have an upside conversation, okay? So when I was watching Tyler Smith, I go, hey man, he blocking dude off the film. He blocking people off the film, humans. D1 players off the film. So when I look at Tyler Smith, I go, hey man, he got issues, but I'm putting him at guard, and I think that dude could be an all pro Bowl type of guy. I'm on the internet saying this. Why? Why was I upset draft night? Air quote upset draft night. Well, shit, because he was a first round player that was a project that was projected to be a guard. So of course I kind of had my, my brief upset energy. But at the end of the day, if you go find my work that's on YouTube, it don't get deleted. Because I'm still making money off of it. Did you hear what I said? Hold on, wait, no, that's true.
Did you hear what I said?
I'm still making money off that, so I'm not deleting videos off of YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. So when I say, hey man, that dude is a flawed character that's not playing tackle for you, he's playing guard. Lo and behold, if we just be patient with our takes and not just cuss Voch out, that dude an all-pro guard. I think Tyler Guyton is more of like a high upside Doug Free type character. It's different types of projects. I don't think Tyler Guyton's that good right now. But if you fix some of his deficiencies and if you smooth out where he's rough around the edges, that's cool. Let me defend Tyler Guyton one time. I don't want goofy ass people running around making life difficult for him. What you mean by that, Voch? I don't want people looking at him going, hey man, he gonna be the next Tyron Smith. That's too much pressure. Another thing I don't want people doing, I don't want people looking at him going, oh, he's the next Tyler Smith. I don't want that, bro. Don't put that on that dude jacket like that. Don't put that on that dude jacket like that. Because if he comes out like Tyler Guyton, right? Let's just say he makes improvements. And hell, let's keep it a buck here. If he's Terrence Steele, that's a W for us. That's a W. If he ends up being what Terrence Steele is today, that's a W for us. By way of what offensive line is in the league. Let me say pre-injury Terrence Steele, because I know how y'all get. By way of what offensive line is in the league, if that dude ends up like Terrence Steele, like current Terrence Steele, healthy knee Terrence Steele, with hindsight would be a first round pick. But Voch ain't wrong about his initial analysis of Terrence Steele. Terrence Steele was hot garbage, but he worked at it. So at least when I look at Tyler Guyton, I ain't saying he hot garbage. Patrick Paul is. I'm saying Tyler Guyton is a character that needs to be smooth. He needs his edges to be smoothed out. That's my opinion about Tyler Guyton. And if that dude ends up being Doug Free, Terrence Steele, I think that's a W for us. Personally, I think that's a W for us. I think the center that we just drafted is a better offensive line prospect, but that's just my business. As I cut on my fan with my fancy remote, but that's just my business. I can feel how I want to feel. But if you take Terrence Steele, but if you take pre-injury Terrence Steele and you get 73 and you're able to double down on offensive line later to get a center that you really love, that's fantastic, man. I give the pick like a B- or something. I'll give it a B-. Why not an A+? Well, shit, if it was like Fuaga or something, it'll be an A+. You know what I'm saying? He's a cool, maybe C+. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not into shooting the dice. I'm not into rolling the dice like that. But can Tyler Guyton be a good player for you? Sure. Can Tyler Guyton be a great player for you? Sure. Can Tyler Guyton be a Pro Bowl All-Pro for you? He could be, but I'm not into the could be. I knew Tyler Smith was going to come into the league and beat the shit out of people. We knew that. But we'll see. Voch's grades don't have a curve. No, sir. No, sir. Look, I don't grade you for better than expected. I don't do that. Actually, Toxic Tom, I think that's an incredible point by you, sir. Hold on, time out, Toxic Tom. This for you. This for you. Let me tell you why we're not allowed to grade on a curve. Somebody hit me up on one of my videos, or they said in one of my videos, they was like, Voch, you nitpicking. When you're graded amongst your peers and we're trying to figure out who's the best, you have to. I think that's the problem with a lot of these people. And I think that's why a lot of these people miss. Because they don't nitpick. Honestly, I think people are, if we keep it in the buck here, I think people are sometimesy when they nitpick. I think people nitpick the hell out of DeJuan Jones. I don't think Peter Skoronski got nitpicked enough. So we could talk about favoritism and nitpicking and grading on a curve. We can talk about it one day. How some kids, play football at Yale and they get ranked higher than the kid that played football at Ohio State. We can talk about it one day. Not today, though. But Toxic, look, fantastic point by you. I don't grade on curves and I have to nitpick. Why do I have to nitpick? Well, because I need to know, is he better than Jordan Morgan? I need to know how much better Olu is than him, or the separation from Fuaga is from him. How I grade offensive linemen is not just about wins and losses. Like if I'm grading you, if I'm your coach and I'm grading you from a game that we played last night, then sure. Okay, so you're supposed to reach on this play. Did you reach? You did. Did that player make the tackle? No? All right, cool, bet. That's a plus. People are telling me, but Voch, he completed the block. When we're doing draft evaluations, it's not about whether you completed the block or not. If you're going against a defensive end and you died a horrible death, but that dude didn't sack the quarterback, you technically won that rep, but you died quickly. A horrible death. I'm not saying Tyler Guyton is trash. I'm not saying that. Giovanni Mano is a little bit. He got drafted before Christian Jones. Ain't that crazy? Chat. He got drafted before Christian Jones. Giovanni Manu got drafted before fucking Christian Jones. I don't know. I take things seriously though. I take this draft analysis serious. And look, I ain't always right. I ain't always right though. But anyway, long story short, I think Tyler Guyton will be fine. Y'all can put me on record saying that. Y'all can clip this if you want to. I think Tyler Guyton will be just fine. He just needs to smooth out those edges. Now, if we get an update later on, or if I get a fucking text back from Duke Manyweather and Duke Manyweather say, yo, Voch, don't worry about it. I'm taking in Tyler Guyton for the whole rest of the summer. I'm saying, we ready to go. I take it back. I take it back if Duke Manyweather hit me up and tell me he working with Tyler Guyton, because I know that boy gonna be straight with a capital K. You hear me? And I think he'll start too. I think Tyler Guyton's gonna start. I think he's gonna come in better than Chuma Doga right now. He's gonna come in better than Austin Richards right now, in spots. In spots, but that I don't think that's going to be a testament of how good Tyler Guyton has gotten from when we last seen him. I just think Chuma Doga about to come here not knowing the plays, and I just think Austin Richards just not going to step up to the plate. Plus, there's draft equity. You know what I'm saying? So come on, Voch, can anyone work with Duke Manyweather, or does he have to invite you? I don't know, and that's a fantastic question. I'll ask him, but I can't give Duke all the credit because he worked with Patrick Paul, and All right, let's get into the second round pick. I actually had a graphic. Hold on, y'all. Where my graphic at? Wait a minute. Hey, yo, look, and then watch Patrick Paul go out and be an all-star. Like, nah, he ain't gonna do all that. He ain't gonna do all that. Let's see. How can I do this? I go to add image, and browse and upload. It's on my desktop. The picks. There they go. I wasn't even gonna show this graphic. I just needed them for my eyes only. I just need to get better here. All right, cool. So your second round pick, 56, Marshawn Kneeland, which is not Breland. Marshawn Kneeland. Okay, here we go. So chat, I do think the run, and let me just say the running theme to this analysis is this: you have to draft. You have to grade what the Cowboys actually drafted, not what you would draft. I know it's a lot of y'all that would have took Peyton Wilson right here. It was a lot of y'all that wanted like Tavondre Sweat or something. Hold on, timeout. Voch, Guyton played 1 year of high school football before going to Oklahoma by way of TCU. So his ceiling and floor collapses the structure, meaning can't hold what Guyton has to offer. So let me react what I think you said. Let me react to what I think you said. He only played 1 year of high school football. He hasn't played a whole bunch in college, and look at what he is now. So he has so much opportunity to grow and be better. Is that what you're saying? Because if that's what you're saying, sure, he has plenty of opportunity to grow and get better. But is that dude better than the dudes in the class right now? Is he better than his peers in the class right now? No. Now, if he only played for 1 year and he was better than his peers in his class, he get even more credit because now he get to grow and be even better than that. I'm just like, oof. You know what I'm saying? Becton signed with the Eagles. Okay, we was beating the shit out of Becton last year. It's all right. So you're a second round pick. And like I said, chat, there's a difference between like you grading the draft and you grading what you wanted the Cowboys to draft, right? The Cowboys didn't draft the running back. We know that grade would have been bad for you, but let's grade what they actually did. I can also take responsibility for this though, right? I can take some responsibility for this because I think a lot of times my audience and just draft Cowboy draft fans, you know, in general, I think a lot of people rely on us to provide them with information. And when we talked about the second round pick, we may have talked about 10 names, and Marshawn Kneeland wasn't one of them. So maybe when people didn't hear Peyton Wilson, but they heard the name Marshawn Kneeland, maybe they thought that Marshawn Kneeland was hot garbage here. So let me explain this to you, chat. Let me cut the music off so I can be heard. And I'll cut it back on in a little bit. But we got to earn music around here. I'll cut it on in a second, okay? Y'all can call into the show. We're almost done here. Not really, but we're almost done here. The Cowboys had a plan in mind, okay? Honestly, as Cowboy fans, we kind of had a plan too. But when it comes to draft, we just kind of throw shit out the window sometimes, okay? So here's the idea. I know we build draft boards, but we don't necessarily build them for the Cowboys. This is something that I just thought about. We don't necessarily build them for the Cowboys. We build our boards just based on who we like. If I turn the film on and we just talking about edge guys, right? Player versus player. I like Chris Braswell more than I like Marshawn Kneeland. But I'm building a board for all 32 teams. That's why I didn't build a board this year. That's why I don't like building boards, right? Because I'm building a board for 32 teams, and people interpret it as, okay, well, what's going to happen here? And the problem with that is that 32 teams have 32 different boards, right? I have Chris Braswell from Alabama ranked higher than Breland, okay? Kneeland. I did it again. Than Kneeland. But you have to ask yourself, what is that team looking for? What's that team looking for necessarily? Let's take three names, okay? Let's take Chris Braswell, Marshawn Kneeland, and let's take defensive tackle Michael Hall Jr. Let's take those names. And let's just list them as the name defensive end of the line players. If you're a team that's looking for a 3-4 defensive end to play 4 tech or 5, and Michael Hall is there, you may value Michael Hall more. He's about 280, 290, right? He's a 3 tech, but in a 3-4, he'll be a 3-4 end type guy. If you want a run stopping, standing linebacker type character, then you would more than likely go with Chris Braswell, right? He's a standing linebacker type character. He plays edge, the same position that Kneeland plays, but I'm gonna find Braswell for you, but he's a lighter character. Let's just say for like, you know, quicks and giggles. I got it right here. Chris Braswell, he's 251 pounds. Perfect. Let's say you're the Dallas Cowboys. Voch Lombardi got Braswell ranked higher than Kneeland. Toxic Tom probably got Braswell ranked higher than Kneeland. We like those players more. But that's our draft boards, because we're building that board for all 32 teams. It's just I just like the player. This is just my draft board. But what we don't consider sometimes is what exactly are the Cowboys looking for? And Cowboy fans should know this, because we know what the hell we complain for. What do we complain for? Man, we were small as hell last year. We got a 205-pound linebacker. We got 245-pound defensive ends. Micah's in a damn 4-point stance versus a damn Pro Bowl left tackle. I'm talking about Trent Williams or whatever. And we got pushed off the football. You ain't got to be happy with the Breland pick, because I don't tell you what to do. But what you can't do is, if you hate the fact that we got a 205-pound linebacker, you can't be mad that we drafted a 235-pound linebacker. You can't be mad if the defensive ends you had last year were 255 pounds and you wish you were bigger there. You can't get mad when the Cowboys draft a 275-pound defensive end. There's no way you should be mad at that. You wanted to get bigger up the middle. And what if the Cowboys walked into this draft saying, hey, we like Chris Braswell, but we wouldn't necessarily know what to do with him. Let's just take him off the board altogether. Our boards may be 300 or so players, but I imagine the Cowboys board may be like 125, if I had to guess. Why is that? Because quarterback's not on it. Certain running backs may not be on it. Certain wide receivers may not be on it. Certain tight ends may not be on it. And if I had to guess, any defensive front player, any defensive front seven player that's undersized, if I had to imagine, the Dallas Cowboys don't have that player on their board. If I had to guess. So if you're wondering, hey, if we're going to go defensive end, why do we go Kneeland over Braswell? Probably because Kneeland maybe possibly outweighs him by 15 to 20 pounds. Now, the thing about Marshawn Kneeland, though, is he actually can play. Marshawn Kneeland's actually a bad boy. And look, it's hard to find his film. But y'all know Voch got y'all a little, Voch got you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing nothing else. And if you want to watch my full film session, y'all can just go to, there we go. Just go to the video. It's on the YouTube page. Go check it out. All right. Here we go. So Marshawn Kneeland is a player, like I said earlier, and he probably walks around 275, but by the time he gets in his man body, he may be 280 or something. Also, too, let me just say this. When we talk about defensive ends that the Cowboys were like, that it looked like they were interested in, and this ain't me guessing, but we saw two names that it looked like they were relatively interested in. It was Breland, okay, because we know that they talked at the Senior Bowl, and it was Darius Robinson. They also talked at the Senior Bowl, right? Breland probably walked around at the Senior Bowl 270, and Darius Robinson probably walked around at 280. Darius Robinson was actually in conversation to be a first-round pick. 280 and 270. The Cowboys are clearly trying to get bigger. I just wanted to run that fact by you, okay? So let me cut this film back on. So Kneeland, what I do like about him is that he has powerful hands, he has athleticism, and he has ball get off, and he's ready to be a run defender for you right now. If there was an impediment to the Dallas Cowboys defense last year, it was run defense. It was Aaron Jones. It was Christian McCaffrey ain't whoop us too bad, but Christian McCaffrey was a problem. Jalen Hurts, when he liked to run around and do that little goofy ass stuff he liked to do, it becomes a problem. James Cook. So Kneeland, what Kneeland does is he makes you bigger day one. And what I mean by that, like Dorrance Armstrong was not a run game player. What's his face? Dante Fowler didn't really want to be a run game player. Sam Williams wasn't really the big body you would want in the run game type stuff. Kneeland comes in right now, run game guy, ready to tear stuff up with upside as a pass rusher. Athletic upside as a pass rush. I'm gonna let this play run and then I'm gonna come back and show y'all something. I actually went to go and find some of his Senior Bowl stuff. And the reason why I went to his Senior Bowl stuff is because, one, this is pass rushing, and it's pass rushing versus colleges that he would never get to play in a regular season, right? He's Central Michigan, so he gets to line up against like the world champion University of Michigan, right? He gets to line up against Rosengarten, the fucking runner up in the damn championship, Washington. Jordan Morgan, first round pick. He goes against Fuaga, first round pick. So what I was seeing from Kneeland doesn't necessarily have a plan when he's rushing. He's kind of a run down the middle of you guy. That was a good rep versus Fuaga. He's technically run down the middle you guy, but at least what we see now is upside as a pass rush. And look, you may not love him all, like he may not be a perfect player, be a second round pick. He's pick number 56. Got your damn feelings. So when I saw people mad at Kneeland, I just simply interpreted that as, okay, y'all just wasn't familiar with his game. That's Kingsley right there. That's Kingsley right there. You just wasn't familiar with his game. So I just wanted to just familiarize people, and I just wanted to let people know, hey, I don't know if Kneeland's going to be a day one starter, and that may upset people too, because I saw people talking about that. What you mean he's not going to start? What is he going to be, a backup? Well, shit, you got D-Law and Micah Parsons as edge guys. Sam Williams is a 3-year player, so yeah, he may not start, but just the nature of defensive end in the league nowadays, you need multiple guys. Yeah, Micah Parsons and D Law were your first edge guys, but Dorrance played a bunch. Chauncey played a little bit. Dante played a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I like the Kneeland pick a bunch, actually. And he may not have been up there on my board, but if we talking about the Cowboys board, what they were looking to accomplish and what they actually accomplished, it made sense. So if I had to give this a pick, give this a grade. Some people give this an A+ grade. Okay, man, look, you ain't get like if you would have got Darius Robinson in the second round or something, like you know, that's an A+. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna overreact to sell y'all no dreams. But hey, I think Breland is just like I think that's a solid B- pick. Oh, we got Damian Wilson, the linebacker. All right. They go and cut him now for real. They cut him right now for real. Anyway, so that's where we're at now. Let me go back to my list of draft picks here. Cause you know I like to forget them. Yo, chat, man, let me tell y'all something, man. Chat, let me tell you something about pick number 73, dog. Oh, chat, let me tell you something about pick 73. And if you haven't seen my Cooper Beebe film session, please go watch it, because I think I broke him down with plenty of context. I can show y'all a whole bunch. And look, I said this speech, so I ain't gonna say it again. And if you come to the patreon.com/Voch Lombardi, we're watching film on all these guys. Cooper Beebe in this film I'm about to show you, left guard number 50, just so y'all know who you're looking for. Oh, I could show you all kind of highlights of Cooper Beebe whooping somebody, but I wanted to show y'all Cooper Beebe versus Texas. These are professional football players that Cooper Beebe is playing against. These dudes are professionals. That is Tavondre Sweat, Byron Murphy, Coburn, Ojimo, Jalen Ford, Overshawn, and a couple other characters that's going pro next year. Dog, there are pros on this D-line. And just as much as you can show me a highlight of Cooper Beebe whooping some kid from Tulsa, Oklahoma State, or whatever, I can show you a highlight tape of Cooper Beebe whooping pros in Texas, boy. Oh, no. Chat. I said this, man, and people thought I was being hyperbolic. Somebody in my comment section cussed me out, but I ain't tripping because, you know, he didn't exist in real life. But, man, I was like, Cooper Beebe is going to open up this offense. Cooper Beebe is going to be the one thing that unlocks this offense. And they was like, man, Voch, shut up. That ain't true. I'm like, you shitting me? Because chat, we'll do this. Voch says this. Let's say two things. What are the top two things that kept the Dallas Cowboys from being successful? Let me reword this because I know how y'all get. Besides Dak Prescott. Hold on, y'all need to see my face when I say it. Besides Dak Prescott, what two things on this team kept the Cowboys offense from being great? I want to listen to what y'all got to say. I want to see what y'all got to say. What y'all got, chat? What two things y'all would y'all say that kept this offense from being great? Man, Kyle on it, man, but I ain't gonna say nothing else. Kyle on it, boy, but I ain't gonna say nothing else. We just gonna, man, boy. Oh man, I don't want to say none of y'all wrong, man. I like what all y'all saying, man. Kyle got it, but shit, y'all ain't lying. Oh man, look at y'all, man. Y'all going crazy right now. Oh, red zone ties into, yeah. And look, all these tie together. Every last one of these tie together. Running out of shotgun, sure, it ties into, yeah, sure. Oh, no, here. Voch, you think Beebe is as good as Biotis right now? Stop playing with me. Stop it. Oh, no tush push. That's one of them. Yeah, that's sure. Running back with running back with no vision. Why you think that's the it is too. Yep. Fat guy. No. O-line injuries, that's another part of it, boy. Hey, look, all these answers kind of mold into one answer. You have got to not get whooped in A gap, and you've got to block the Mike linebacker. What's an example of you not being able to deal with A gap? Dexter Lawrence just running down up on Dak and A gap. Javon Hargrave running up on Dak and A gap. Tyler Biadasz and Zach Martin not being able to pull off a good combo on a one tech. Tyler Biadasz and Tyler Smith not being able to deal with a one tech on combos. Tyler Biadasz, when he engages with one techs, he's not really getting any push on the one tech, so they can disengage when they want to. Somebody mentioned shotgun runs. Sure, if you want to talk about shotgun runs, that mean the angle changes and the angle of shotgun runs that it would have to take to get to the linebacker. Biadasz wasn't good at those. When I say Cooper Beebe unlocks this offense, I don't think I was being very hyperbolic. I could just be a fan of the player and just move on in my life. I could just be a fan of the player and just shut up somewhere. But when I tell you that we're going to be mauling A-gap players, and anchoring A-gap players, I saw Terrence Steele get whooped for an entire game, but Dak Prescott was able to move and shake. Since Dak Prescott was a wee lad, we've seen him working with Cam Irvin, Cam Fleming, Ty Nsekhe, Xavier Su'a-Filo and shit. We've seen Dak Prescott deal with the worst of the worst. Chuma Edoga not knowing the plays. We've seen him deal with the worst of worst. If there's a gap that I know that Dak Prescott can deal with, he can deal with C gap. He can deal with pressure from the outside. Schoonmaker can help with the outside. Ferguson can help with the outside. Rico Dowdle can help with the outside. When you're getting pressure up A gap, there's nothing you can do. Not a thing you can do. There were even times where I saw teams on film last year, they'll cover with, like, put a player in B gap, right? They'll cover Tyler Smith and Zach Martin so that Biadasz can't get no help. Now, if you got a strong center, teams can't do you like that. If you got a strong center, then you can't put a center, like, you can't put a player over the center and cover both guards because you'll be weak somewhere. We'll just hit your ends. Okay, if you got 2 ends, 2 threes, and a 1, cool, we're going to throw the ball on you, right? Like, just structurally, defensively, it wouldn't make sense to do that. Cooper Beebe is a player routinely sits down on NFL players. Hold on, chat. Hold on, wait, time out, chat. Wait. Byron Murphy. Cooper Beebe sitting down on Byron Murphy. Hold on. Where the first one up? Tavondre Sweat. Cooper Beebe sitting down on Tavondre Sweat. This ain't like the kid from Yale where he's sitting down on the Holy Cross kids or the Dartmouth kids. The kids from Harvard and them. Navy. These are professional football players. We finally got a center that can stand on his own too. I hate when the pundits on national media are describing the Dallas Cowboys offense and they refer to one of our strengths as that offensive line. That offensive line ain't been that offensive line since Travis Frederick retired.
Did you hear what I said?
Chat, we got one, man. We got one, chat. Cooper Beebe supposed to be a second round pick, dog. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. Cooper Beebe supposed to be a second round pick, man. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. Like, if we just talking about how we grading them and all that, I'm sure all the draft dudes in the audience right now. If you're a draft dude in the audience, where'd y'all have Cooper Beebe going? Second round, in the 50s, the 60s maybe? I was thinking like, you know, like mid second round, late second round. That's where I thought Cooper Beebe was going to be. Cooper Beebe at 73 is ridiculous. Cooper Beebe at 73 is ridiculous. So you got the value and the player that put it all together. That makes the damn Tyler Guyton pick better. Cooper Beebe A plus, man. The Cooper Beebe pick A plus, dog. You ain't fool with me. I'm gonna tap in with Foots later, and me and him gonna talk about it or whatever. Shit, we keeping the buck, man. Shit, Zeke ain't been great since Travis Frederick.
It's fact. Yes. Yes. A similar event did take place. You're right. You were right.
Our research found a published report of a similar story.
Yes, it was.
A similar story happened to a young man in the Pacific Northwest about 20.
You gotta talk. Hey, hey, look, yo, Chad, I ain't gotta lie to you. Chad, I ain't lied to you yet, man. I ain't lied yet, Chad. Hey, look, some people entertaining, but I ain't lied yet. I'm gonna get to the phones in a second, y'all. Don't go nowhere. I'm gonna spend a little time on one more pick, then I'm gonna get to y'all. I'm gonna spend time on one more pick. I'm gonna speed through the rest of them because y'all know how that go. Marist Liufau, Notre Dame. Big fan of him. I was a big fan of him coming into the draft process, right? Or just coming into the draft or whatever, right? Now, if you want to look back in hindsight and go, Voch, I would have rather have taken a running back right here. I wouldn't knock you at all. I wouldn't knock you at all because I 100% would have gone running back also. I think that was your last shot. There's no way the Cowboys thought they was going to sit on the board from pick 79 to 174 and a running back that they like was going to be there. No way. No way. But if we're simply talking about the player, I love me some Marist Liufau. I'm a big fan of Marist Liufau. And honestly, I think he could be even much better. Show me a highlight of his wrap up tackling, of him wrapping up while tackling. Well, let's see if I got one for you. And this, I ain't even, let me see. I might have one for you. You know, we let me see. We got film. I'm always, I try to come to work prepared. You know, let me see. I try to come to work prepared. Almost legendary says 44 tackles. And you know what? I'm glad that you said that. Thank you very much, sir. I think if you and this is why nitpicking is so, hold on, what am I got down? This is why nitpicking is so, let me cut my music off before I cut the highlights on. This is why nitpicking is so important. Somebody in the chat, and they was, if I had to guess, right, I guess they were poo-pooing on the lack of tackles or the lack of production, I guess, from Liufau. This is why you got to nitpick. This is why you got to watch more than one game. This is why you got to avoid highlights. This is why you got to watch multiple years of film. And if there's any draft dudes in the chat, y'all can tell me if I'm lying. Liufau was misused at Notre Dame. I think he was misused. He was not a full-time linebacker. If he was a full-time linebacker, then maybe he would have had more than 44 tackles. And keep it a buck, I'm just listening to what you said. I don't even know if he had 44 tackles for real. I ain't check. I don't check numbers in that way, right? But if you watch the film closely, he was a bit misused at Notre Dame. If I look at Marist Liufau, there are two positions that stick out to me that I think he should play: Mike linebacker or Will linebacker. Those are two positions that I think he could play. If you look at what he did on film, his ass playing nickel corner, he playing strong safety, he playing outside corner for a couple of plays just to be funny. They got him on the line of scrimmage playing pass rusher. They line him up in B gap versus guards sometimes. I'm like, why are they doing Liufau like that? So if your point is that Marist Liufau has a lack of production, that's why we got a nitpick. Toxic Time, see how this all come? You see what I'm saying? Toxic Time, see why this makes sense here? You can't grade Liufau on a curve. You can't grade Liufau on the curve. You got to nitpick. Sometimes you nitpick a player to go, oh, this is what they got to work on. Sometimes you got to nitpick a player to be like, oh, they'll be so much better if this was the case. That's the nature and the nuance of draft. If Liufau only played linebacker, I'm sure he'd be even more productive than what he was. But y'all know how that go, man. Hey, yo, chat. Look, I got something to talk about today. Hey, this draft, baby. Hey, this draft, big dog. If we was basketball, you could do that, man, because I'm not well versed. You can lie to me about basketball, like, you know what I mean? Like, if we talking about women's college soccer or something, you can school me in that, bro. But this draft, man. This draft, big dog. Hey, man, look, I crossed my T's and look, I told so many people this is the most important draft season of my career. This is the most serious I've taken one. So don't just do a quick Google search and be like, he got 44 tackles just to come to me and be like, Voch, he only got 44 tackles. The fuck are lining up at nickel corner and dropping back and covering people. Draft dudes tell me if I'm lying. Sometimes they'll just throw it the other way. They'll run away from them. They would key in on them. We're talking about a dude that when we listen to the secret audio, I implore everybody to listen to it. Mike Zimmer, when he was talking to him, he was like, hey, man, I love when you came in here and we was visiting. You was able to tell me what everybody was doing on the defense. That's green dot character. That's green dot character. Why you think that's green dot character? Because the motherfucker, he play all the safeties, he play the corners, he play edge, and he play linebacker. All three linebackers, Sam, Mike, and Will. I ain't gonna flex on nobody, man. Let's just get back into the let's just get back into the film, dog. Marist Liufau. Hey, look, man, I'm a fan of the player. I'm a fan of the player, simple and plain. He's not a perfect player, of course, but we're at the end of the third round, so we're gonna find more and more warts on these guys, right? But I'm just talking about a guy that sees it and attacks it. He trusts his eyes, he feels, and he can be a missile. He could be a missile. I think he can transition in between both, right? Sometimes he knows he should be patient, read his keys, and figure out what's going on. But then when it's wide open for him like this, he got some closing speed, man. I think he has a lot of overshown in him, actually. And I'm not, I don't, like I said, I haven't had a conversation with overshown, so I don't know where he's at. But if you have both these players and they both have great length, Liufau is like a 34-inch arm guy. So when he does have to deal with these D linemen, he can separate with arm length. I think your linebacker room, if we just look at where we at right now, Eric Kendricks is the old head, right? So he's here now, but he won't be here later. What the future of your linebacker room is going to look like is long, 6'2", 6'3", long wingspan, smart, missile, flying to the football, communicative linebackers. This is what the future of your room is going to be. And both guys, if you think about what Overshown was last year, his last year at Texas, Overshown was also like a pass rushy guy. He had some reps where he was just getting upfield bursty and just chasing the quarterback. Liufau has many of those plays also. Hey, man, would I have gone running back right here? 100%. 100%. Was Liufau the best player on the board? I don't know, but it depends on what the Cowboys were thinking. It depends on what the Cowboys were thinking. For example, let's just say you had, let me see. Let me find my list here. Say you value length. You know what I'm saying? Say you value like arm length and size and all that, right? Say you just didn't want any like short linebackers, right? Liufau Here's his number: 6'2", 234 pounds, 34 and a quarter inch arms, 79, almost 80-inch wingspan. We're trying to retire from the days that we get pushed around at the line of scrimmage. Cowboy fans get mad, man. And look, this ain't the cute draft where you just draft an star, like recognizable name after recognizable name after recognizable name. But like I always say, man, when you got stars, that's cool, but you need role players sometimes. You need role players sometimes. What I really liked about Van Der Esch when he was on the field, he wasn't a star, but at least Van Der Esch would be like, hey, they doing this, and that'll make people around him better. Sean Lee had that same kind of stuff in him. Marist Liufau is a smart player that'll tell you what's happening before it happens. He and everybody else will then run to the football with their luxurious hair on fire. Kalen Carson, I'm going to continue my thoughts and evaluation on him. I watched a little bit of him, but he's a corner, and I get sleepy watching these. I hate watching DBs. What I saw from him was a player that's, super athletic, figuring out the nuances of coverage, ball skills, batted away 8 of them this year, 7 last year. He can try to transition those into picks if he just finds the football in the air. He has ball skills when he's attacking the football, but he I guess it's just like a confidence thing. When you're in coverage, when you're in phase, are you confident enough to look up and find the football? But I will say this, so I'm gonna continue to figure out my thoughts and analysis on Kalen Carson. But something I will say is I constantly saw him ranked in the 120s, the 110s, you know what I'm saying, and all that kind of stuff. But taking him in the 170s, that's fantastic. That's fantastic value for him. Plus he tackles. The handful of film, let me see. The other film that I have on him, do I still got it? Kalen Carson? Yeah, the handful of film that I had on him is like YouTube film, and I don't want to get copywritten or anything like that. But just a quick idea, Kalen Carson at the bottom of your screen here, indicated by the arrow. He like to do shit like this. You know what I'm saying? He just like to, he's one of them, throw his body in the harm's way and go and make a tackle, go and make a play type characters. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those guys. So when I get my all 22 and I can post film without getting like YouTube canceled or whatever, I'm going to make them a dedicated film session so we can get a good idea of them. I just don't want to put the YouTube clips out there. But I like the player, and I think the value at 170 something, it's fantastic. So Kalen Carson, for that value, that's B+. And the grade for Marist, I don't know if you want to put like B- or something, cool, fine. I like Marist a bunch. I like him a whole lot. Let's see who else we got here. All right, cool. Let me tell you about Ryan Flournoy. I didn't watch no Southeast Michigan film, dog. Southeastern Missouri. But he was a Senior Bowl guy, and I remember watching him in the Senior Bowl coverage, and I saw him as a yak guy. I saw him as an athlete. I saw him as a guy that attacks the football in the air, and I'm wondering why he didn't get picked up by a bigger school. So let me call the Illuminati. I need to sell my soul to get some Southeastern Michigan State. Pardon me, Southeastern Missouri State. Shit, boy, look, the more names you got in your college, the more names you got in your college, the harder it is to find you, boy. But Southeastern Missouri State, I've seen some of his Senior Bowl stuff. I'll cut that up and get it to you. But I want some of his like all 22 film, and we'll talk about it there. And Justin Rogers, we've had conversation about Justin Rogers on the show. He was one of the last 330-pound characters, and he's a Bohanna type, a Ridgeway type, a 2-down player, big body in the middle. So we'll cross that road whenever we get there. Now, chat, you're probably saying this before we get into the phones. You're probably saying this, but Voch, we only had 8 draft picks. Why is it 9 guys on the film, Voch? Aw. Yo, chat, let me tell you something, dog. I'm not going to list undrafted guys with the draft guys. I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? It don't make sense. You know, like when some guys got drafted, that means that they're good enough to be drafted. Some guys went undrafted. I mean, they got to work their way up. But if there's an undrafted dude that I'm 100% confident that he's gonna make this damn team, it's the tight end that's 6'6". What, he's 6'6"? What, he's 6'6"? Hold on, I got you right now. AMSR. Hold on, I got you right now. This big ass boy. Hold on. What that mean, Toxic Time? Hold on. Where the hell my tight end paper at? Hold on. I got y'all. I want his measurables. I'm trying to give you his measurables. Don't go nowhere. Tight end latched on the wide receiver. Hold on. I want to give you his measurables. Well, shit, I can't find them, so we might. Yo, check. All right, here we go. Tight ends. Here we go. Tight end. Brevin Span Ford. 6'6".
Did you hear what I said?
260 pounds. 80-inch wingspan. I cut the film on this mother. He got like six years. He got 6 years in college. And you just see him mauling kids in the run game. You see him pushing people around. You see him whooping kids in the run game. Bodies, he's a lineman. He's an offensive fucking line. He's 260 pounds. I do think somebody should ask, do y'all consider Brevin Ford as an offensive lineman that you're going to get bigger, or a tight end that you're going to think about getting smaller? I think it's a conversation that somebody should be asking. But we'll cross that road whenever we get there. And then you look at him and he's sneaking around in the passing game. Look at his catch radius real quick. Look at this motherfucking catch rate. So even if you overthrow, see, Dak can't overthrow Deuce. Dak got to be perfect throwing the deuce. But if you overthrow him, oh man, come on, man. Devin said a lot of drop shit. You ain't got to throw to him a lot of times. Shit. Yo, look. He got a lot of drops, but you know what? He got a lot of blocks. Shit, he caught this one. Man, look, somebody in the chat said something so smart. They was like, hey, man, look, Jason Witten made a living off that move right there. That little sidestep, that little sudden sidestep right there. Man, Jason Witten made a living off of that move. He made a living off of that move. What happened on this play? Putting him in motion here, whooping somebody. Yo, look, he's 260 pounds, bro. He gonna be 270 off the peanut butter. DBs don't stand a chance. His right tackle died from George Karlaftis. I went back to 2021. His right tackle died from George Karlaftis. He said, bet I got you. I don't want him to go with George Karlaftis one-on-one, but oh man, he can do it. Catching the ball down under with his hands, running through kids, getting an extra 5 yards off top of the initial contact. What happened on this play? A little Moriak one-on-one with a DB, dragging his ass into the end zone. Chat, let me tell you something, man. Robbie Radford, what up? I ain't seen you in a long time, brother. Welcome back. Hey, let me tell y'all something, chat. I know he not one of the draft picks, but here's what I can say. Justin Rogers ain't guaranteed a spot on this team. Ryan Flournoy is not guaranteed a spot on this team. Kalen will make it, but I don't think he's guaranteed. Nate might be fine because all he got to do is beat Waletzko on ball. That ain't too tough. Brevin making a damn team. You can get Hendershot ass up out of here. I don't know if Sean McEwen on the team still, probably not. But if your tight end room ended up being a group of 4, and it ended up being like Ferguson, Schoonmaker, John Stevens, Brevin Ford, makes sense to me. Yo, man, bro out there beating the hell out of people, dog. Bro was out there. Bro was out there pushing people around, dog. I got sad. Like, why are you pushing these little people around? But that's what hey, look, you're a 260-pound tight end, dog. What a corner gonna tackle you? Camp should be fun. Camp should be fun. Big A, talk to me, sir.
How you doing, Voch?
Man, life good. I'm just trying to, clear up some air in the draft world. You know how it gets sometimes, man. What's happening with you?
Oh, believe me, I got you. My only I got some quick points.
Sure.
Overall, I didn't very much enjoy this draft. I believe, personally speaking, if granted, everything on day 3 is a what if. But I feel like really, if you can just those first 3 picks alone, if you hit on all 3 of them dudes, you ain't got to worry about picking an offense. You ain't got to worry about offensive line for a while.
It's facts.
And you got your tank replacement potentially if they all hit.
Yeah. 100%, man. And that's another angle to edge that a lot of people may not be thinking about. Like DeMarcus Lawrence. I mean, we don't know how many more years he got. And the same thing with Zach too. Zach Martin and D Law. We don't know how many more years they got in them. So we need to keep guys around just in case they just up and decide that they don't want to do this no more. So that's facts.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that point. And then also I will say one thing that intrigued me about this year's draft that I was actually kind of surprised by. Almost every notable, for the most part, every notable name D tackle that was talked about in the draft, they were all gone by like pick 90.
Yeah.
I did not expect them to go that fast.
Well,
I really didn't.
Well, they probably weren't going to go that fast, but teams noticed that dudes started flying off the board. Same with running backs, right? I'm sure the Cowboys had to have had a realization that all the running backs that they thought were going to be good were just flying off the board. Like when they didn't take a running back with that last 3rd round pick, they had to live with the idea that a running back wasn't going to be there at 170 if they didn't trade back. So that's on them.
Yeah, that's true. That 4th round pick, yeah, it doesn't change a bit.
It's tough.
I know a lot of people I don't know how other Cowboy fans gonna look at it. I can really care either way. I can care less either way. I feel like there will be a handful of us that's gonna be looking in August. They're gonna be putting a microscope on Trey Lance.
Sure.
Because if he ain't progressed in any sense, you're gonna get a lot of backlash from like, we gave up a 4 for this dude.
Yeah. Sure. And you know what? That's what sucks the most, man. One, you gave up the 4 for Trey Lance. Trey Lance not gonna help you this year. You could have used that 4 to draft a running back. That definitely would have helped you next year. And all the young quarterbacks from his class, they got traded for 6th round picks. That shit sucks.
Exactly. Yep. And then plus also the only reason you made the trade to get Trey Lance is to make some facade of trying to show that you ain't got to pay your quarterback.
Yeah.
So if he don't work out in any sense this August, then you out of options. I feel like you're gonna have to be forced, but you gonna have to be forced to pay your quarterback, which I can carry either way. But you're gonna be forced to have to do it because you ain't got no leverage.
Nonsensical. Appreciate you, man. Good call, Big A.
All right.
Hey, man, let me know what y'all think. Well, shit, y'all can ask me whatever y'all want to ask me. I'm sure y'all have something. I'm sure y'all got some good stuff over there. Jake the Great, what's up?
Yo, Hollywood Voch, what's happening, big dog?
Life good, man. I can't complain about nothing. What you got for me?
Well, I ain't got too much, man. I just wanted to say, man, I appreciate what you did. All your hard work. You and Brian Brothers got tremendous chemistry. I wasn't able to catch a lot of the live over this off season. My schedule didn't change. I'm back at home in Florida, you feel me? But I just want to say you did an outstanding job. I watched every last one of them. Y'all chemistry is great. And it don't matter what they say about you. You know I'm always going to rock with Voch when it comes to the offensive lineman. To me, you're the guru. And I don't care if anybody else has different opinions. That's why we're here in this community, for us to share different opinions and different ideas. I just want to give you another shout out and keep doing your thing, Voch. I ain't want nothing. Just keep doing your thing, bro. I enjoy every show, my nigga. Beebe.
Hey, man, appreciate you, bro. Good call, man. Salute. Hey, yo, chat. Every time, look, I ain't gonna lie, man. Appreciate Jay the Great. Every time somebody say, hey, man, no matter what they say about you, I'm gonna hold you back. I'm gonna hold you down. I'm like, I appreciate you, man. But then you started thinking, what do they say about me? What are they saying about me? But I'm sure people are saying things about Voch. But hey, man, I got y'all, man. I don't need nothing else because I got y'all. You feel me? Let's keep it tapped in, man. Gavin, what's up?
What's up, Voch? How are you doing today?
Man, life good, player. I can't complain. I saw somebody said doubt or disrespect. I can't complain about nothing, man. What's good with you?
Well, I'm just chilling, man. Appreciate the draft coverage you guys did over the weekend. Great production as always. Y'all did a great job.
That's Will Steele, man. Will Steele's the best. You know what I'm saying? Foots is the best. I'm cool. Shouts out to those guys, man. They're great.
Facts. I wanted to ask, what do you think the plan is for these offensive linemen? I was listening into Jerry's the post-draft press conference, and I noticed Mike McCarthy talk about new protection scheme and how these two players can possibly fit into that. I know you're probably going to save this content for another day, but I just thought that was really interesting, a little nugget from that press conference, especially with the common thread that I think both of these guys are pretty good on the move. We see Cooper Beebe running around, knocking people over easily.
Yeah.
And then if we could just fix some of Guyton's, him missing or overrunning people, I think that could really help in the run game.
You said that there was a press conference where Mike McCarthy said that there would be a new running scheme that those two offensive linemen could fit in?
No. A new protection scheme. So that's something I believe that's going to be added towards the offensive line. Like, what do you think of that?
Where you said that at? So I can go listen and like try to get some nuggets from him.
It was close to the middle. It's like one of the first times that Mike McCarthy started talking. I'll tell you exactly which one because I just recently watched it. It's the post-draft press conference day. I would say it's probably closer, like in the middle, probably about 15. It's the one question that Mike McCarthy answers because, Jerry then wants to talk a lot.
Okay, day one. I got you. Okay, cool. All right, appreciate you, man. Good call. I'm going to definitely tap into that, and if I got a response, I'll make a video on it. Appreciate you, mate. Let's get Cowboy James on the phone. What's up, sir?
Hey, what's going on, Voch? It's been a while since I've been on your show.
Appreciate you, man. Ain't no problem. You welcome back whenever. This your home. What you got for me?
Yeah, but I just wanted to tell you, kind of like the other guy did, man, sir, you need to stand up and take a bow because all your hard work definitely paid off because, I'm not into looking at a whole lot of film, but you do a lot of the film for us people that are like me, so I get a lot of content by watching you. So please stand up and take a bow, man. Once again, you did your thing. You held it down for us, and I appreciate you.
Hey, man, appreciate you, man. I wanted this to be one of the best drafts I ever did, and I'm already brainstorming on how to make the next one better, so appreciate you.
Well, what I was going to say was, two quick things, and they're both about the offensive line. The Guyton pick, I think they said his biggest flaw is his feet. He don't set them very firmly. He kind of rocks.
Sure.
So he's easy for somebody to reach out, grab him, and pull him forward and knock him off his balance. I think that's a big thing there. I don't know if you've seen that. And I think, and I don't know if you would do this, because Beebe was ranked, I think they said as the number 2 guard coming out of college, but because of his reach and his small arms, I'm thinking, did we draft him? Because you're not going to draft a guard in the 3rd round to be a backup. Did we draft him to be our center?
Cooper Beebe should be center number 1. Should be.
That's what I was thinking, too. So if Guyton pans out, we know Tyler's nasty. Beebe is nasty as they come, too. Zach Martin, and if we can even get back to half of what Terrence Steele was when he was really good before he got hurt. That's going to be nasty, man. What do you think about that?
Yeah, 100%. I agree. The thing about Terrence, I just think Terrence had to get healthy. Towards the end of the season, he was right back in that form. But like I said earlier, think about Tyler Guyton. Guyton doesn't have to be Tyron Smith. He doesn't have to be Tyler Smith. Tyler Guyton can be Doug Free, and that'll be a hit for us. So I'll be fine.
Doug Free is good. He was about, for me, he was about 50-50 on both sides of the ball. But anyway, Voch, again, thank you for holding it down, man, and in the draft and giving us all that great content, man. And I know you said that Will Steele is good, but hey, man, between you and Will and Foots the King, you like the three amigos, man. Y'all the best out there.
Hey, man, appreciate you, bro. Good call. Salute.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, I appreciate everybody kind words, man. Y'all know, just certain things I did differently this year. I feel like I watched a lot more prospects this year, but also I just had the film ready to go. I think that was huge. Just having the film just queued up and just waiting around. So when somebody be like, "Yo, Voch, show us what you mean when you say," you know what I'm saying? I was able to just click the button and I would be able to show y'all film, you know what I'm saying? So, working with Broadus, you know what I'm saying, gave me the rub. You know what they say when you're a challenging fighter and you fighting a champion, that just by fighting the champion, you just get a little better. You just go up 10% just from fighting the champion, that level of experience. Having these fights with Brian Broadus, I feel like they made me a little better. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate everybody and all y'all kind words, man. I had to step up. Foots the King stepped up, and Will Steele definitely stepped his up. So the draft looked fantastic. So appreciate y'all, man. D Shift, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, Voch, man? I appreciate you, bro.
Hey, man. Appreciate you. Go ahead.
Hey. Nah, man, y'all, it's good stuff as always, man. I think one thing I know still got to be coming with the draft ticker, just the updated one next year.
Yeah.
I know where his production has gone from when he started to now. I know that's in the works. So that was my only thing when I was watching. I was like, man, who's, as they're making the picks or as the picks, how the ticker goes at the bottom, put the little names there as they're getting drafted. Yeah. But I already know that's coming. So that was about my only thing. That
Will Steele
having to debate.
Will Steele has a high level of OCD, and just by people saying, "Hey, I wonder who got drafted," y'all ain't even got to tell him. He's going to incorporate that to the next stream. Trust me.
I already know. That's why I didn't even put it as a suggestion. I already know he coming with it.
Yeah.
But Voch, man, one thing, man, the first round, I know that wasn't your favorite pick, especially as the tackle is concerned.
Sure.
But I'd like to, I don't know, maybe just kind of pick your brain as to, because in my mind, it's a first-round prospect. It's a prospect that's been, put as a first round. We know the history of what the Cowboys can do with offensive linemen. Was it more of an in-the-moment thing for you, or is it something that you're getting a better? I'm sorry, but I missed a little bit of the show.
It's cool.
If you've gone over this, but is it something that you're coming around to as the weekend? I know you weren't like down bad about the pick and you understood it overall, but just, in my mind, again, he's a first round prospect. We've seen what the Cowboys can do with first round prospects, young tackles. Reminding myself of Tyron's first year as a left tackle was horrible until, you start adding pieces. This guy's coming in with an offensive line that has pieces. So I just wanted to pick your brain about that. What should I be concerned about?
So it's just me personally, I like high floor players. I'm not the biggest fan of upside players because, you can have upside, but I don't know what you're really going to turn into. You know what I'm saying? I like to be able to watch your film and know exactly what I'm getting. So last year, one of the conversations in draft world was, Paris Johnson, tackle from Ohio State, having so much upside. He looks good. He's a good looking athlete, great movement, great feet and all that kind of stuff, but maybe he didn't have all the O-line stuff tied down. DeJuan Jones, who played right tackle for Ohio State, he was 370 pounds. He was tall. The league doesn't have experience with, but they don't have great experiences with like so many tall guys. And, he just wasn't, he wasn't a quick-footed athlete. But Voch was vouching for DeJuan Jones because his tape was fantastic. I don't care about one's upside because I don't know if your upside could get there. You could reach your upside. You could reach your full potential, but damn, you could not. This is the National Football League. We see players that got potential all the time, but they never reached that potential. So when I'm talking about first round picks, I hate to roll the dice because let me explain something to you. Darius Robinson is not a player that needs a bunch of work. Graham Barton's not a player that needs a bunch of work. How about the players that was on the board that we moved away from? Tyrion Arnold, linebacker from Alabama, in which he was the best tackle on the board. Tyrion Arnold did not need a lot of work at all. Right. So just me personally, if I'm making a pick, upside is cool. I don't know if you're going to reach your upside. I know what Tyrion Arnold is. So I'm always more likely to just take the better player. I know what Jordan Morgan is. I know what Olu, Troy Fats, with JC Latham, with Fuaga. I know what those guys. I know what those guys are. I had no clue what Tyler Guyton's going to be. I know what he is now. He's a fantastic moving player. He's a fantastic athlete, but I don't know what he's going to look like. And that's the kind of stuff that scares me a little bit, right? Now, do I think he's trash? No, I think Patrick Paul's not very good at football, right? But I think that, if he puts in the work, if he goes to Duke Manyweather, if he fixes his hands, if he fixes, how he anchors his feet and his hips and bends his knees, then sure, he could be a good player. I just like to save projects for the later rounds. But the fact that we got him, but we was able to parlay Beebe into the pick, I think that goes along with that. So I'm fine with him. And I don't want to just make him a play. I don't want to give him pressure of, oh, you got to beat Tyron Smith, or the pressure of you got to beat Tyler Smith. It's some people on the social medias right now saying, oh, he's a future All-Pro. Man, if he's Doug Free, I'm happy. If he Doug Free, I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like if he's just a good player, I'm straight. So, hey, he's a Cowboy now, and I'm rooting for him.
All right, and another thing, just quick, do you see the quarterback position coming to a point where
the conference has been locked?
Kicking a lot of these quarterbacks, man. And so do you feel like the quarterback position is just the league is just at a point like if they ain't Mahomes, we just gonna roll them through, try them out, and then if they ain't it, then we can just let them go. Treat them just like any other first round pick who doesn't come through immediately. Nah,
because I think quarterback's so important. And what you end up seeing is, there's only one Mahomes, but you see a lot of success from teams like, Seattle and Tampa Bay. Like you see them betting on older guys, right? You see the Saints betting on Derek Carr. You know what I'm saying? Like we may not think highly of those guys like in a Pat Mahomes type of way or like an elite quarterback type of way, but you need quarterbacks. So what you going to do, And what you end up seeing is that a change of scenery is good for Geno Smith. A change of scenery is good for, Baker Mayfield, or good for Derek Carr. Well, Derek Carr's still bad, but, change of scenery.
The flip side,
sure, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I know the flip side to that is like, all right, get these manageable quarterbacks, somebody can manage and just soup up your team with a whole bunch of all pros and whatnot. But we saw the 49ers fail to do that last year. They were close, but you match quarterbacks aside, the Niners roster was killing the Chiefs roster.
Sure.
So that's my whole thing about this team when we let go of these players, man, that are like all pros or at Pro Bowl level. We just kind of treat them because we just saw a team who was souped up and couldn't get the job done. You got Jordan playing in the league right now, even though, the Patrick Ewings and the Charles Barkley existed of the world, they never were able to reach that level because you have guys, you got just these superstars who exist in your era, and like if they're they the head of the table. So I'm just curious about that, man. But I appreciate your time as always, bro.
Appreciate you, D-Shift. I think you can beat Pat, and there's teams that have been really close to beating Pat, but the Chiefs defense saves the day, and Pat gets the credit for it. Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you. Phones is locked, but I'm going to still tap in with you. All right. Mr. Ronnie, God bless you, and God bless your family. How you doing, sir?
Oh, likewise to you, my brother. I want to say you instill, like always, your boy Footy, y'all put on a great draft show. I was very impressed with you. Well, you always do good work. I just want to say I like what the Cowboys did. I like that they worked on that offensive line. I like that Cooper guy. He like you say, he's a man child.
Yes,
for as young as he is, the brutal strength that he got is ridiculous. We definitely hit it on that one. I'm waiting to see what the receiver that we got. I mean, I know he's not a big name, but I think his physical attributes is something to see. Let's see what he does, in training camp. But I think he's going to do something. And that boy from Notre Dame, too, he's something special. Like you said, Notre Dame didn't use him right. I think with Zimmerman's going to put him in a position where he can do a lot more because he is talented. He got what it takes. And if you're able to call out plays when the coach asks you stuff like that, you're an intelligent player. And everybody's not born with it because there's a lot of people that got gifts, but they're not smart on the football field. But that's all I got for today. Like I always say, God bless you and your family, Will Steele's family, and you keep up the good work.
Appreciate you, Mr. Ryan. Good call. On the topic of wide receiver, I do agree with Mr. Ryan and what he's saying with Ryan Flournoy. He may not be a big name in this draft, but if there's anything that we know, and the Dak haters can hate this all they want, but Dak can take a relatively unknown wide receiver and he can elevate those dudes and make those dudes playable. We were raving about Jalen Brooks last year, the 7th round pick from South Carolina. We was raving about him last year. So all Ryan has to do is just beat the dudes around him. He just got to beat his peers. Whoever's on the roster at wide receiver, you just got to beat them. And whoever gets to catch passes from Dak Prescott, be in the right spot and catch them. And I think those players end up okay. I trust Will McClay though. Y'all know how it go. LA up next. Real Bishop Kang on deck. Reek in the hole. What up, LA? LA. We'll come back to him. Real Bishop Kang up next. Reek on deck, and we'll come back to LA. Real Bishop Kang, what up, sir?
Man, what's good, man?
Everything. What you got for me today?
Man, I'm like the other caller, man. I just want to say appreciate y'all getting me through the draft, man, because I really be at work, and I had to listen to y'all. I couldn't just watch the TV.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate y'all, man, doing what y'all be doing.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate it. That mean a lot to us, bro. What you got for us today?
Man, I just wanted to get, maybe I missed it. I just wanted to get your grade on the draft, and also, yeah, that's it. I just wanted to get your grade on the draft. If you can include the undrafted free agents in your grade too.
Yeah. I'll say who we got was a B-. Like I was saying earlier, you have to grade the draft for what it is, not grade what you wanted the draft to be. And we didn't get a running back, we didn't get certain players we were looking to get that was that was available to us or whatever. But we can't think about that. We got to think about the guys we actually got. And if we think about the guys we actually got, it may be like a B- draft or something like that. I think we did all right.
Right on. Appreciate you, Vachi.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. Have a good one. Yeah, if you just consider what the Cowboys were trying to do coming into the draft, they were trying to get bigger on the O and D line. And they were trying to get better at linebacker. I think they did all those things. I ain't say run game though. I just said O line. All right. What's up, Reek?
Yeah, what's going on, Voch?
What's good with you, sir? What you got for me today?
Well, first of all, man, I want to say, man, you got to take a bow, man. You're the only person I've been listening to as far as the draft goes throughout all the channels that said that we was going to double dip at lineman, but we triple dipped on there.
Man.
And I respect you for saying that.
Man.
You're the only one that said it, so I got to give you your flowers, brother. You said it.
Man, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you.
As far as the draft, I gotta agree with you, man. It's no higher than a B plus, man. It's no higher than a B plus to me as far as this draft went. I'm not the one that's feeling the fact that Zeke coming back, but I feel like he could be a piece that we can use. Whatever he got left in his tank, we can use that. But them not drafting a running back 2 years in a row, like a good enough running back, that ain't cool, man.
Yeah.
my thing is, if you had a plan to bring Zeke back, you should have drafted a decent enough running back too.
Sure.
You know what I mean? A change of pace back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at with that. But other than that, man, I gotta keep it real with you, man. It seemed like our division has got better.
Yeah.
From what I was seeing, how other teams was drafting within our division, Philly look like they got goddamn pretty good on defense. I'm gonna say as far as they cornerbacks.
Yeah.
Where they were suffering that any damn way.
Yeah.
So I gotta be like, okay, I see what they did, and they brung in Saquon Barkley, and still bringing another good enough rookie running back.
Yeah.
Why we couldn't bring in a good enough running back? That's where I'm like. That's why I feel like we dropped the ball. But I got to give our guys credit too, because they understood the mission. And what I'm saying about that is, you got one of the most important things that you need to protect your quarterback and eventually get a run game. And let's build this line up to be tougher, because this schedule that we got coming up this year, if we plan on getting in, bro, we got some games. We got some tough opponents coming up.
Sure.
And I'm glad that they focus on at least one side of the ball, as far as building up the trenches.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Now let's see what they're gonna do as far as this. People getting cut, good players getting cut from their teams, and trying to acquire some of these players. I'm gonna say defensive line. Let's get some D tackles in here, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Some, one or two veteran D tackles, and I'll be happy. And I think we'll be ready to roll for this next season. But other than that, I appreciate you, bro. Keep up the good work. You Foots and Steele, hold it down, man.
Appreciate you, brother. Good call. Yeah, man. I do think the Eagles drafted really well, and if there was one thing we could do when playing against the Eagles, I would always say, "Hey, man, find Bradbury. Find Bradbury. If you can find Bradbury, we got a shot at beating the hell out the Eagles." So they got a little better, and they're gonna be a little more competitive, but they still got a running back playing quarterback. As far as the whole Zeke thing goes, the one bright spot, and look, this ain't me being serious at all, I'm just being goofy as hell. The one bright spot about Zeke coming back is that there's no superstar young running back that he's going to hold back. You know what I'm saying? There's no young superstar that's gonna sit down because Zeke is playing. That's the only bright spot about this thing. I just think it's like a redundancy in your roster building, because you got guys like Zeke already. You got Hunter Lipke, you got Royce Freeman, and hell, Rico kind of run like that for real. You know what I'm saying? So it's we'll see, man. We'll see. Let's get Hemp on the phone. What's up, Hemp?
Hey, what's going on, Voch?
What's good with you? What you got for the show today?
Oh, man, hey, man, I enjoyed the show the other day.
Appreciate you, brother.
You, Sky, and Foots, man, y'all growing. I love it.
Hey, man.
But no, I wanted to call in and say that, I'm pretty happy, with the job that, the Joneses and Will McClay and them done. So, I can't complain. To trade back and get that extra pick, that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, that really helped us. The board could have fell other ways.
Yeah.
But, it's just, chance of the draft.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed is, looks like we're trying to be a lot more physical. I love the Beebe pick, but my favorite pick is where you wanted the running back at. I'm not going to lie, I wanted the running back too, but, Martez, like you said, and like I've seen, he flies to the ball. He's going to read it, he's going to understand it, and he's going to attack it.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
I really think that, he'll complement that defense well, and, he'll be another, key piece. And, I think him and Micah and Overshawn and Kendricks, we got the D line, we got a good, thing going on with here in Zimmer, this first year.
Sure. Fair enough. Good call on him. Something I will say though, chat, is, just me looking at these first picks that we have, these first three, first four picks, first three rounds or whatever. Yeah, I would love to have a running back. I would love to have a running back here. But it's hard. Like when you look back at it, it's hard to be like, all right, where would you fit the running back at? The only thing that I would have taken a chance on is on the Liufau pick, trading back, hoping that Liufau will like be there still. But you want to get big on your D line. I wanted to double down on the O line. We got to have linebacker, and I think that just makes sense, man. I just think that we just got hit on that not having a 4th round pick this year. If we'd had a 4th round pick this year, I'm betting you that running back would have been in the 4th round for us. Couldn't do it though. Brandon from Houston, what's up, man?
Man, I was just thinking about lining Trey Lance up at running back now that you said that.
His ass better not line up at no damn running back. He better throw the football and go to Jacksonville or something. Get us a goddamn.
I traded for a nose tackle today.
Yeah.
For one today.
Yeah, for sure.
But I just wanted to call in and just say, man, absolutely great draft coverage. I watched it all weekend and had ups and downs, but overall at the end of the draft, I'm counting the UFA. I'm counting the tight end as part of the draft. I like it.
Yeah.
We win 12 games over and over and over to do consistently. Sometimes you have to update the roster. Did we get marginally better?
Mm-hmm.
Not much, but I think in the A gap, like you talked about earlier, we got way better in the A gap.
Yeah.
Now that's a little bit of projection, but I think in a street fight, Cooper Beebe's whooping Tyler Biadasz 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
All day. So I think we got way better in the middle. And I don't care. I'll run Zeke Elliott behind Cooper Beebe. I don't care. I'll run anybody behind Cooper Beebe, Zach Martin, and Tyler Smith, and I think we're going to be good. But I think we're going to be good. And I'm not mad at the draft. We only had so many picks. Like it turned one lineman into two. All right.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but that's fair, man. I hate to say it, but that's fair. If you look at Kansas City, I like Pacheco. You know what I'm saying? I like Pacheco, but he was easy to find, man. If you look at what Houston was last year, like Devin Singletary was out there running around the playoffs. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
yup.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can, and I don't want to sound like this dude, man, because I would love to have a running back that I respect and that the other side will respect, because just as much as I can say that, I could also be like Christian McCaffrey was in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Gibbs was in the playoffs, like just running the football or whatever. But man, I've seen teams do it without running backs. I've seen teams do it with them. So at least I'm glad that my offensive line got fixed, and everything else we could just kind of go from there, I guess.
I mean, we got so though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no matter what, like we just got for a pocket right now. We just bought for a half a second more each play. Mm-hmm. What does that do for the offense? Right?
Sure.
I think that wrecks everybody's defense. Honestly.
Sure. Yeah. I don't hate that at all. Just whatever it takes to keep Dak clean, and Dak cleaner in A gap is better than Dak being clean outside, because Dak can navigate the outside, and just being able to run the football, being able to deal with these one techs that we got to go up against, and these linebackers that come down aggressively, man. BB's gonna be cool year one, but he's gonna this offensive line gonna be a stud year 2, year 3, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's good. Can you imagine again the Green Bay game if we could just ran whenever they dropped into 6 and 7 DBs, we just ran in A gap?
Man, I can't imagine that. No, sir, I can't imagine that. That's why I can't wait to see it. But just can I imagine it? Because we ain't done that in years. We ain't done that since Travis left.
We ain't done that. You know what I mean? So that's why I like. Everybody's kind of sleeping on the Cowboys. We're power ranked number 13. Okay, that's cool, but yeah, we got a lot better where our weakness, and I actually doubted the Cowboys in getting better. When they let all these people go, I was like, we're not going to get better in A-gap, no way.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, all right, okay, and all right, I'll let you get to the rest of the calls, Voch. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Looking forward to calling in whenever we're running right up the middle, and it's going to be nasty.
It's going to be fun, man. Appreciate you, Brandon. Good call. Yeah, man. Gus Edwards is a playoff running back. You know what I'm saying? It's just the Dolphins got a pretty good crew over there. Who else, Chad? What other who had bad running backs in the playoffs last year, or just mediocre running backs in the playoffs last year? 210. What's up? Who this?
Yo, what's up? This is Silas. I just started watching your show back last year, but this is my first time tuning into the draft show. And I want to say that shit was fire, dog. I enjoyed every minute of it.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you,
I had
bro.
a couple questions.
Go ahead.
What do you already answered the Philadelphia Eagles question, but what do you think about how the Giants drafted and the Commanders drafted? Then also, do you see the Cowboys possibly being more active in free agency now since, Stevie ain't got to give up no picks?
Man, it'll be foolish for them not to. So I'm not gonna sit up here and say that the Cowboys gonna sit on their hands the whole way because Stephen Jones was on the podium. He was like, "Yeah, man, we got to call some people." So I'm gonna let y'all know. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's you know what I'm saying. But let's see the New York Giants. Let me pull them up. They got Neighbors, Nubin, Andrew Phillips, a tight end that I ain't watched, Tyrone Tracy, and the fifth Darius Musaw. Okay, they got a cool little lineup. They got some role players there. Phillips is another role player that should help them a little bit. Tyler Nubin, I think, is going to be a really good safety. But it's certain things you got to have before you have the role players. They got a safety, but they ain't got corners that I'm afraid of for real. You know what I'm saying? They got Malik Neighbors, who I respect a whole bunch, but Daniel Jones throwing the damn football. So I mean, it's cool. They got a pretty solid draft. It'll more than likely help them later on than this year. And as far as the Wizards, I think Jaden Daniels is a good pick. I think Jerzon is a massive pick for him just being a rotational defensive tackle. It's interesting because I wonder if they're going to just let him sit down for a little bit or if they plan on moving Jonathan Allen. If they do, they need to call us. Sam Steele, nickel corner, I like him. Sonata tight end, cool. Brandon Coleman, cool. Lou McCaffrey, cool. They got a bunch of role players in their third round, so that's not enough to make your team better, but they got some good role players. Jordan McGee, sure. Yeah, okay, so yeah, the Wizards cool too. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that their draft put them over Dallas or anything like that. It's us in Philly again.
Yeah, I totally see that. Also, I'm right there with you. Payne Hendershot is on the chopping block because I saw your breakdown of Span Ford or whatever his name is from Minnesota.
Yeah,
I don't see Payne Hendershot making it.
No sir, Bob can't beat them allegations. Hendershot finna be his ass up out of here. Barring injury or anything like that, Hendershot gonna be in Jacksonville somewhere, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's it, man. I appreciate watching the show. I enjoy every time you go live, but keep doing your thing, Voch.
Appreciate you, man. What's your name again? Silas, you say?
Yeah, you could just call me Sal, though. I might call in every now and then, but I just enjoy watching it because you Will Still, and Foots the King, I just got put on to y'all, so I'm enjoying everything right now.
Appreciate you and appreciate whoever put you on. Salute to you, brother. Appreciate you. Good call. I just put you down platinum. Next time you call, I know it's you. Silas. You can call me Si. All right. 214, what's up? Who this?
Boston Darius, man. What's happening?
What's up, Darius? What you got for the show?
Hey, I heard y'all on the final word, I want to say, like a week or so ago. With my boy Law.
Yeah. The round table, I got you.
Now, yeah. And y'all was talking about y'all kind of blame the season on Dan Quinn, right? That's what it sounded like to me. And y'all was kind of putting this season on Mike Zimmer, like kind of framing him to be like our savior. And I don't really get that part because what is Mike McCarthy run scheme?
Okay,
you feel me? Like, when has he had a run scheme? Like, like what's I'm trying to figure out like what is the actual problem with the Cowboys instead of like just blaming the whole thing on Dan Quinn. Okay. You feel me? Like what do you feel like that is?
So I don't think I necessarily blame the whole thing on Dan Quinn, right? So let's just say that you got four coaches. You got Mike McCarthy, Schottenheimer, you got Dan Quinn, and you have Fossil. That's four coaches. And let's just say you have a grade of 100. If one of your coaches is trash, you got a 75. You know what I'm saying? If one coach is garbage, you got a 75.
You feel me? Scott McCurley, who guys that?
Yeah. So, it just works in the way of averages, right? So let's just say Mike McCarthy scored a 70 that day, and Schottenheimer scored like a 80 or something, and let's just say Fossil scored an 85. That means, man, hey, if you score about 80, we'll be straight. But boy, in this playoff game, Dan Quinn called the worst defense I've ever seen in my life. I don't think Dan Quinn had a bad year, but it was shit that was going on all year that we just didn't see very much improvement in, like the run game. Whenever we lost, we died in the run game. That's just facts.
Come on.
So
whose fault is it? Who that fall on, Voch?
Yo, defense coordinator?
Yeah, that's Mike. That's your boy Mike.
Well, Mike McCarthy, the head coach and the offensive play caller. So, yeah, Mike McCarthy does deserve some credit because it's his team and he should be able to go to somebody and say something. But if you're in charge of the defense and your defense looking crazy, then it's your fault, especially if the defense been solid all year. And then we show up on playoff day and your defense go from solid to hot garbage. Man, Mike McCarthy can't do nothing to make your defense not be hot garbage. And I know that the offense had its own challenges that day, but man, it's hard to overcome.
Come on now. Come on, Voch. Come on now.
So shit, we agree, I guess.
They did.
I guess we agree. It's hard to overcome 28 points being dropped on your offense. The one thing I've been saying all offseason is that every quarterback is allowed to have a bad start except Dak Prescott. If you look at all these games, whether it be Jared Goff, whether it be Jalen Hurts, whether it be, my man's Josh Allen or Baker Mayfield, whoever, Pat Mahomes, every quarterback had a bad start. But what eventually happened was every defense and every run game bought that quarterback time until the offense got going. Now, we did see Dak Prescott get going in the second half of the game, but shit, they never stopped scoring. Green Bay I don't even know if they punted. They never stopped scoring. So yeah, Dak wasn't good, but he didn't have a chance. Go ahead.
I can get jiggy with what you're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is, we've lost in the playoffs the same type of ways every time that we've gotten.
We never lose like this. We ain't never lose like this. We didn't have some close games where Dak couldn't pull it off at the end. I'll take that. Like if you want to talk about the two San Francisco games, them have the number one defense and Dak being able to fight those guys off, then yeah, the defense definitely showed up and did their part there. But I think the Rams game is more so the defense let Jared Goff and them get off. And if we talk about this year, the loss this year is nothing like any loss I've ever seen. Aaron Jones beat the shit out of us and we couldn't do nothing about it.
What I'm saying is I feel like we had a level of unpreparedness and mentality wise, hella penalties at the wrong moments. Like, to me, a lot of that shit fall on Mike McCarthy. To me. You feel what I'm saying? Like when the team is ready to smack you in the fucking mouth, mm-hmm. and your team ain't ready to do the same to them, that's a problem for me. That's a huge problem for me. That's my only thing, man.
Yeah, and listen, if you wanna put some blame on Mike McCarthy, I'm not stopping you from putting blame on Mike McCarthy at all. But man, you ain't finna talk me into not blaming Dan Quinn. You are not finna talk me into not.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that part a little bit, with the playoff game. But
yeah, man,
a lot of this shit, I be feeling like that should be falling on Mike.
Let me ask you a question.
Because it's like.
Let me ask you a question. When you see Micah Parsons line up in A gap and get pressure on somebody, then the very next play he lines up versus the left tackle on a rundown, how does that make you feel?
Okay. So I feel like I don't got a problem with that if Micah can do it. If Micah can do it and if he wants to do it, I don't have a problem with that. But if you're saying he's being played out of position and that's on Dan Quinn, I give you that. But if you don't, you know what? I give you that. Voch.
I think being a small defense was Dan's idea. So having Micah in a 4-point stance on a rundown versus Trent Williams is a bad idea. I love Marquise Bell, but I think having a 205-pound linebacker is a bad idea. Hell, man, it was just a lot of So how about this? Not giving Izzy and what's our man Wanye Thomas, not giving those dudes opportunities because you got some veterans that you like, I think that's a bad idea. I think those are bad ideas.
Yep.
You know? So yeah, I gotta blame Dan. Sure.
I can't blame him for the whole thing. Man.
Shit. Okay. Well, maybe not the whole thing. Maybe not the whole thing, but there was some glaring nonsense that Zimmer ain't going for. So yeah, Zimmer may not be the savior, but all Zimmer got to do is not be on no nonsense. That's the same thing about Tyler Guyton. Tyler Guyton ain't got to be the savior. He just got to be better than Chuma Edoga.
Now I'm okay. So this is the last thing I'm gonna ask you.
Sure.
Now, if Zimmer show his ass, if Zimmer do everything that you feel like a defensive coordinator is supposed to do, and we still lose in the playoff or don't even make it, what's that?
I think context matters. I think context matters because Dan Quinn will show his ass all year and lead the league in sacks and turnovers and shit, and then we get to the playoffs and Dan Quinn look crazy. So I think context matters. So yeah, I mean, if Zimmer, look, man, if Zimmer leads a defense that gives up 17 points a game or something, and we get to the playoffs and we give up 17 points and we can't score 18, then sure, that'll be on the other side of football. But context matters. It just depends.
Okay, that's the bad, man. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Darius. I'll be fair. You know what I'm saying? I'll be fair. Like, I've come on this platform and said Mike McCarthy on coke before. I get down. I get down. But when I see something done right, I can make the adjustments. Look, I love changing my mind. Me and Will still preach this all the time. Changing your mind is okay. If you receive more information and you decide to change your mind, that is fine. Change your mind. Change your mind, man. 254, last one. What's up? Who this?
Yes, my name is Braun Clark, and first-time caller, long-time listener. And I just wanted to say a couple of things and ask you a few questions. Thank you for taking my call.
Appreciate you, Braun Clark. Thank you so much for being a part of this show. And you know what I'm saying? Ask away, sir.
So first things first, I've been watching your shows now for probably a solid 2 years. You're my first YouTuber that I ever watched for Cowboy content, and between you and Law and Jeff Kavanaugh and Skywalker, I'm learning a lot. And from what I've learned from you guys, it's given me the courage to start my own YouTube channel doing Cowboy content. And what I'm learning from that is you can't be afraid to have an opinion, stand behind it, take the good with the bad, and then roll on from there. So I first wanted to put that out there. You were the main reason why I started my YouTube channel.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. There is room for everybody. Come on in here and give your take. As long as you're being honest, the audience will notice that. If you if you're sounding like someone that was if you're sounding like somebody else purposefully, then the audience may not catch on to that. But if you're whether you're right or wrong, if you believe in what you're saying and you're giving honest work, people will tap in with you. I've been wrong a lot, you know what I'm saying, but I've been right a whole bunch. But I believe every word that I say, so people tap in with that. So good luck to you, brother. And hey man, glad to have you over here.
Thank you. Now my question for you is, I've been on the drafting 2 offensive linemen with the first 2 picks for a while now, and so I'm glad that they addressed that in the first 2 days. I personally like Beebe as my best pick. I think that man is a volcano with legs. He's just vicious, and I love the pick. I don't think he'll stick at center long term. I do think he'll be Zach Martin's replacement eventually.
I agree.
But for what we need him for this year, I think that's a home run pick. And as I was watching the draft, I felt like the Cowboys did really stay true to their board. They had high traits players that needed seasoning. And so high motor, high integrity, guys that aren't afraid to put their nose in there and get dirty if they need to. And they might be a bit raw, but those type of players are coachable.
Yeah.
And that's what this team needs long term. Because our cap situation is not going any better anytime soon. We're years away from that being fixed.
Sure.
So you have to work with what you got.
Yeah.
You don't know what players are going to be there until you're there. But it does sound like that those first 3 or 4 players were really high on their boards and were great values. Maybe the linebacker was a little high, but you can understand that. I mean, you're not picking for 6 hours on the next day after that. So I wanted to hear your thought on that. And also, I had a couple other thoughts, and then I'll hang up and listen the rest of the way.
Yeah. The Cowboys built their board for what they need. You know, when we build, you know, I said this earlier, but when we build boards, we build it for all 32 teams. We just talk about guys that we like. But the Cowboys are going to build their board based on what they like in players, and you know, so some players that we like may not even be on their board. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we could be mad at who they didn't get all day, but the Cowboys may not have liked those players. We can't be mad that they didn't draft small linebackers when they want big linebackers, or stand up offensive linemen when they want big 5 tech D ends. You know what I'm saying? So Cowboys did what they wanted to do, and I think they executed it. Go ahead.
And then I've got a shots fired moment here. Name me a homegrown talent that the Eagles on defense have cultured into something good. I can't think of anybody in the last few years. So I don't care who they draft. They can't do anything with it on defense.
I don't think Jalen Carter counts. I don't think Jalen Carter counts because he was the best player in the draft. You know what I'm saying? And I just hate that they was able to get him. But they went and got Slade from somewhere else. You might be on to something. Could be on to something.
Yeah, I mean, every good player that they've picked up of recent, it's they bought them, and that's okay. That's a style. But you know, at a certain point, you have to develop somebody, and so it'll be interesting to see what they do with all this influx of defensive talent they got. Either they'll hit a home run with it, or they'll screw it up like they normally do.
Sure.
But second point I wanted to bring up is Skywalker put out a video a few months ago about Steele and how really we had 2 really good performances in the Green Bay game. We had Fergie, who played out of his mind, and we had Steele. And I was watching the videos that he had put up, and legit, it looks like he was his old self again.
Yeah.
And I wanted to hear your thoughts, being an offensive guy, what your thoughts were of that. Did you actually go back in and dive back into that video of the Green Bay game on Steele? And then I got one more for you here, but I wanted to hear your thought on that.
Okay. Yeah, man. Terrence Steele definitely got better. It's just that I think the further you are removed away from a major injury, I think the better you'll play. So he just he had to trust his legs and trust his hips again, and I think he did that towards the end of the season. So I think this will be a year where he's doing just fine. I saw Terrence working out with Manyweather lately, Duke Manyweather lately. So I think he'll be good to go. What's your last point though in closing?
Well, yep. Last point. I'm not upset about the Zeke hiring or signing, but I do think that I think his purpose, because he's a team guy. Sure. He loves the Cowboys. I honestly think he was brought in to teach and help these other guys buy into the Cowboy program.
Mm-hmm.
That Heat guy, he's got speed. He's a 4-3 guy. You know, teach these guys how to play running back. And so I really think that's the main reason why he was brought in, to mentor these other guys and try to get more out of them. Yeah. And that's all I got. Appreciate it. And love your work. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, man. Tell the good people where to find your brand new YouTube page.
Yes, sir. So on YouTube, my channel is Commish Gaming and Sports Talk. The and is the and sign. And so I do all Cowboy content plus gaming.
All right. Appreciate you, man. Everybody check them out. Salute to you, man. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Right. Got a couple callers there. A couple callers. Whew, a couple callers. Glad to be back, chat. You know what I'm saying? Took a little break from streaming, but we ain't take a break from content. You feel me? Feel like I was a little rusty, you know what I'm saying? Feel like I haven't, got into my groove. Like if you don't use it, you lose it, you know? Supers. Let's hit refresh on them joints to see where we at. You feel me? We scroll down. Let me scroll down. But I want to look at the chat while I'm reading them. And some waffle fries. Nick says this. He dropped a deuce and says, what running back around the NFL could Dallas trade for? Shit, man, call somebody in Miami. Miami got Mostert, A-Chain. They drafted Jalen Wright, Jeff Wilson. They got dudes, man. They got plenty of them. You know? Shit. Shaq the Vikings fan dropped a deuce and says, I think Guyton to Dallas is the perfect fit. You fix him. The perfect fit if you fix him. Hey, I hope we fix him. I think he could play though. I think he'll be fine. It's just, you know, I don't like the project. I don't know how you fix Patrick Paul. Let me quit shooting shots at Patrick Paul, man. Jason Hublisky dropped a dime and says, is Guyton and Beebe better than Barton? Yes. As bad as I want a Graham Barton, dog. Guyton and Beebe, yeah. If that's one pick, then sure, give me two people. Jay Hart in Fuster Kings' voice, he dropped a deuce and says, breaking news. Draft is over. Appreciate you, man. Hold on, let me do this real quick. Let me come over here. Question mark. All right, let's get back into these supers, man. Let's just get back focused. All right, let's get back into these supers. Voch is against free speech. Voch is a patriot, sir. Here. Dro Nose dropped a deuce and says, we're rebuilding the Great Wall of Dallas. Somebody called Will Steele show and say, hey man, you remember when we had the Great Wall of China and we was running about? Like, no, what you mean? But appreciate you though, Dro Nose. Vance dropped a 5 and says, could Guyton be as simple as this? He was badly coached. See all of you as what's that? Yeah. I just think Guyton just hasn't played offensive line in such a long time. You know what I'm saying? He just hadn't played the game for a long time. I think I got my black belt pretty early. I just wasn't a great athlete. I wasn't the greatest of athletes at work, the greatest athlete in the world. But I've seen offensive linemen struggle with the nuances before. Like, it's tough to get those nuances down, man. It's so difficult to get them nuances down, man. So, I think he'll be fine, man. I'm waiting on Duke to tell me. He need to call Duke. We'll go from there. Appreciate you though, Vance. Dro Nose came back with a 5. It says Cowboys first round offensive lineman plus Duke equals Pro Bowler, and get my boy Cooper Beebe some cert, because he's going to be serving pancakes. Cooper Beebe is a Duke Manyweather guy, so whatever we seeing on film, it may be even better. So we'll see. We them boys hate the Cowboys. He says he loves the draft pick. He loves the draft picks, but these picks will be impactful for the future, not right now. This is a must-win year for Dak, and Mike Barton would have helped. Barton definitely would have helped right now, but I think BB is going to help you right now. We'll see with Guyton, but as far as your edge guy, he's going to be a rotational run stopper. Your linebacker is definitely going to be an understudy of Eric Kendricks. Probably going to start next year with Overshawn. So yeah, don't hate what you're saying. Dro knows with another 5. He going crazy right now. He says 23 was the all-in year. We're in a rebuild right now. Steven is building this team for Lance and Schottenheimer. Well, I'd be sick. Dro Nose came back with another 5. Says huge Notre Dame fan. Watch Marist play. He's always directing traffic. The man is highly intelligent. Yeah, the first thing that Mike Zimmer said when he got him on the phone on the secret audio was, hey, we really were impressed that you knew where everybody was going to line up. Thought that was dope. Appreciate you. FRK dropped a 5. It says phenomenal work this past weekend covering the draft. Salute to you. Sky, and breaking news. Fuster King. Appreciate y'all. We appreciate you, mate. LA Chargers fan dropped the 5 and says, thoughts on Joe Alt to the Chargers. I wanted Neighbors, but I'm happy we got Alt, then McConkey. Started following your channel for player breakdowns years ago. Appreciate you, sir. Joe Alt's fantastic. He's a gangster. He's going to be a hell of a right tackle with Slater on the other side. He's got a good foundation at offensive line. Zion is there at left guard, I think. Y'all on y'all way, man. I think he's going to be running the ball a bunch. So I don't know who y'all going to be playing at running back, but LA should be cool. I wish that your quarterback would get the same amount of scrutiny that mine does, but LA will be cool. Heist drop a 5 and says, how you feel about Marist? I'm trying not to see Clark play it down. I don't think he'll play very much. Clark may start off playing this year just because of seniority. But Damone will get his damn job taken by Marist. And then next year, Marist and Overshown, that's the click. Brandon J dropped a 5 and says, would you be okay with moving Tyler Smith to left tackle if you added Graham Barton and Cooper Beebe to this line? Also, how long do you give Guyton to work? Well, no, I think by any means necessary, I want this team to be built around the idea that Tyler Smith is an all-pro left guard. I wouldn't want to move him. If you move him, your offensive line get worse. But I'm fine. Like, look, like this is where I'm at. I am fine with Guyton at left tackle just if I can keep Tyler Smith at left guard. That let y'all know where I'm at with Tyler Smith playing guard or tackle. AJ Melder dropped the 5 and says, I'm ready to see some split back formations in this West Coast offense. Hey, man, good luck. You ain't gonna see that. But you might see that. I don't know. You might see that. Chargers fan got J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, and the rookie Vidal. So y'all got Vidal and Gus Edwards. Okay, cool. Cool. Dak's undefeated against Herbert. Got mad love for Prescott. Hey, you love Dak more than Cowboy fans do. Salute to you, sir. Gooby dropped the 5 and says, when is impressed with the Philly draft? They've never been good at developing picks in the secondary. The rest of their class was suspect. Jalen's in the second. Yeah, that Jalen's in the second round. In the third round, pardon me. That was crazy. I just think the top of it was just interesting how they just, you end up with Beebe and Kenyon Mitchell. That's just annoying I don't want to see the Eagles have good things. Is it fair to want Dak to take a Brady pay cut? Sure. Tom Brady didn't take a pay cut till later in the draft. I mean, till later in his life. Hell no. Y'all had a better draft than the Cowboys. Congrats, Chargers fan. Hey, listen, teams that draft in the top 5 should always have better drafts than teams that draft in the 20s. And that's not a shot to the Chargers. That's just like draft structuring. You get to draft at the top of the round every time. Yeah, you should have a better draft than us. Jalen's in the third round is a bit high for me, man. But hey, you can do what you want to do, player. You can do what you want to do, player. Hear ye, hear ye. Hear ye, hear ye. Hear, hear, hear. Marcus Hardison says, at Lombardi, you talking to me? Hey, yo, Voch. A harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a very dangerous man who maintains control. For some, he's a cautionary tale. For others, an intoxicating mystery.
Hear what I said.
A harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a very dangerous man. I need to read this shit with a knife in my hand. And a magazine next to it. A harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a very dangerous man who maintains control. For some, he's a cautionary tale. But for others, he's an intoxicating mystery. Stay dangerous out there. Man, Marcus Hardison, boy, me and Okoye, we did a podcast one time. I don't know if he dropped it or when he is. But we talked about the importance of being dangerous, man. We talked about the importance of controlled violence and danger. And on the surface level, people may not like violent and dangerous people. But you want to know what you're going to need in a world full of dangerous and violent bad people? You need dangerous and violent good people. Don't waver on your masculinity, man. That was a good one, Brother Marcus. I love that one to pieces. Hey, chat. Fantastic one. Back in the saddle. Didn't lose a step. Feel good. And we're going to do this all over again tomorrow. If you haven't seen the film, please please go check it out. We're going to be dropping film more and more on the YouTube, but we're also going to be watching a ton of film on Patreon, patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. Y'all be sure to tune in. Every film session we've done, we've ended it with a game of Cooper Beebe. We just been watching a shit ton of him. We're going to watch every game I can find of him. All right. With that being said, man, that's all I got for y'all today, man. Y'all hold down for the Doski Walks and Peace. Until next time. Bye.